Family, guys, what's up? It's Duggar Time. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy to be here. I know, I say that I'm gonna post every week and then I don't, and then I'm super backloaded on information, and then I have so many things to tell you and this runs too long. So I'm gonna try to talk a little bit faster today. Yeah, I have so much to say. What am I doing? I'm trying to get comfortable because I have so much to talk to you guys about. But anyways, butts and six. Listen. I have so much to talk about. I'm gonna get started right away because I'm going to go back to the beginning of this month to the 4th of July, and you're gonna see how this is just gonna come full circle, okay? Just wait for it. I'm gonna take you all the way to present day, but we gotta go back to the 4th of July. Because on the 4th of July, without a crystal ball, she posted in the middle of me at an Independence Day party, she posted this picture that some creep had taken. Guys, one of our sources or somebody that says they know the Wissmanns took pictures of Jana Duggar, Stephen Wissmann, Jeremiah Duggar, Hannah Wissmann, and Laura DeMasie, all at this these 4th of July festivities in Stewart, Nebraska. Let's go through the who, what, where, why. Okay, so who was there? I told you who was there. Jana, Stephen, Laura, Jeremiah, Hannah. Now, it's been widely circulated and pretty much confirmed that Hannah and Jeremiah are dating, and widely speculated that Jana and Stephen are dating. Okay, or at least they're talking. I mean, I think the last time I made a video, this is the crazy part, how quickly things change, and it's not just for me, this is general consensus. The crystal ball lady was saying the same thing that I'm saying. Everybody was kind of I guess we were wrong. I guess Stephen and Jana aren't dating. Maybe they were just talking. Maybe they're not talking anymore. Okay, and then right after I released that video, then I'm I don't think they're talking anymore. I think they were, but I don't think they're talking anymore. They're seen together in Nebraska. 4th of July festival, for the city. There was a parade, maybe, I don't know. There was booths set up. The Wissmann family did perform. If you didn't know about the Wissmann family, they are a group of musicians. Okay, they're a family, and all the kids play instruments, and it's really neat, actually. I've been trying to listen to some of their music lately, and they seem like a really nice family. And so maybe I'll be giving you guys more information about the Wissmanns as we go, because they seem to be very important to this whole Duggar story at the moment. So I'll be giving you little tidbits of the Wissmanns in the weeks to come. Now, why is this important that they were all there at this festival? The whole of the Duggar family was not there, as far as we know. As far as this source is saying to Katey, was that Jana and Stephen were paired off as if they were a couple, and that Jeremiah and Hannah were paired off. And the first thing she reported was that Laura was with the Wissmann sisters, but then there's a picture of her with Jeremiah and Hannah. I don't know. They were all in lines getting food, and the pictures were a little bit creeper-ish. If it's somebody that knows the Wissmann family, I'm telling you, man, whoever is the source, whoever the source is for these people who are supposedly friends of the family, and you're walking around taking creeper pictures of these people that you know, that maybe you go to church with. I mean, you are kind of weird. I can't imagine doing that with a coworker or a neighbor, being oh yeah, I know that person, and then contacting somebody and being look at the pictures that I took from my balcony. I think it's a little weird. The pictures. I don't think it's from somebody that's super tight with the family. All I do know is that they were there, and so now this speculation has fire again. And to be honest, yeah, this is real. This is real, we're gonna have to accept it, okay? And I'm gonna come back to it later. But Jana and Stephen, it's legit. We need to... It's legit. This is reality now. So we're gonna come back to that. We're gonna come full circle at the end, I promise. Because, why is all of this important? How is this happening? Why was Laura there with them? It seems out of place for me. Because we think, we assume that Jeremiah and Jana have gone before to Nebraska several times, being each other's chaperone. So Laura going to be their chaperone, I don't know, weird. And then the idea that she would go but not hang out with Jana and Stephen because Jana's her best friend, that she was like not with them at all, that she's like hanging with the Wissmann sisters. Let me tell you something that's very weird about this whole dynamic. It's that like none of them, like Jana and Laura don't follow any of the Wissmanns on social media, which makes sense for Jana because she's very private, right? She does follow a page called Lifestyle Sisters, which is like 3 of the Wissmann sisters. They do like styling and stuff. But like all the Wissmanns follow them. Like, and Laura follows every fundamentalist on Instagram except for anybody with the last name Wissmann. It's bizarre. But they've commented on Laura's posts, like Zibby has, and I can't say the girl's name, Alithia, her. They've commented on Laura's page. They obviously follow her, but Laura does not follow back. So it's weird because like if they were friends, then they would be like mutual friends on Instagram. For Laura to be like, oh yeah, I'll go and I'll hang out with Elizabeth or whatever. By the way, Elizabeth is one of the Wissmann sisters. I think she's the same age more or less as Jana, and she's also not married. So for people who are like, oh, wouldn't it be like a red flag for Steven that Jana's so old and not married? Well, his sister's in the same boat. So probably her, Jana, Laura, they have a lot in common. So it's not weird to me that they would be friends. It's weird to me that Laura doesn't follow back. Like, Laura, follow them back. Like, maybe Jana has her on a tight leash with that. Like, you may not follow the Wissmanns until I tell you to. It's bizarre, man, because some of the Duggar boys do follow some of the Wissmanns. So it's a them thing. It's a Jana and Laura thing. And I don't get it, but maybe. I don't know. The thing is that Laura, just a few days before that, was in Texas with her friend Kayla, Whaley, and they were at Magnolia, right? Okay, Laura doesn't go to Magnolia without Jana, so it was like really weird that Laura was there without Jana, and for a second I was like, she went to Magnolia without Jana. And then, you know, Jana liked Kayla's post, so it's like, okay, Jana's cool with that. I was like, so maybe Laura's just doing her own thing. I'm like, go Laura, do your own thing. You don't need to be with Jana all the time. And then the next day she flies with her to Nebraska to go hang out with her and her boyfriend's family. Look, man, Laura can do whatever she wants. She can do whatever she wants. It's not my problem what Laura does with her life. It really isn't. But I just want to give you all the information. She was in Texas. She comes back to Arkansas to hop on a plane to Nebraska to go hang out with these people, with Jeremiah and Jana and all the Wissmann family. This is where we are right now. A few days after that, they all go kayak. Jana, Jason, Joy, Austin, Laura. Laura posts a little poem. Love many, trust few, always paddle your own canoe. And I'm like, is there like a secret meaning in here? And then like the next day she goes back and she tags everybody in the pictures. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna show you the picture. Cause like Jana's like all the way up in front. I'm like, who's that man in the canoe? The kayak, whatever, raft with Jana. But then Laura clarifies that for us that it was Jason. I don't know, it was a little cryptic, okay, but whatever. So they're all hanging out now in Arkansas, so you can tell now they've moved from Nebraska, they're back in Arkansas. We can see a timeline. Dude, Laura's posting a lot. This is great. This is wonderful. She hasn't posted since then, because I made such a big deal out of it on my social media, apparently. Next big thing that happened, Jill had a birthday party for Sam, her son, so James came by, took him out in a fire truck, and Jana was there. I always find it really interesting that whenever Jana comes to visit, like Derek's not there. I've told you before that I feel like there's beef between Jill and Jana, and it was palpable in like the clip that she posted. Like Jana walks up to Jill and was like, "Hey, so good to see you." That was a good Jana Duggar impression. Let me do it again. Hey, so good to see you. Okay, and it was like, I don't know, a bunch of people started messaging me about that, like that seemed so not authentic at all. And I agree. Like, I have one sister. Like, we're not super close, but I can't imagine, like, ever, like, any occasion in my life where I would walk up to her and be like, it's so good to see you. Like, Jana and Joe were, like, inseparable their whole lives. Like, it's just such a bizarre way to greet somebody. You know, and she's very close to her sisters. So it was just a little, like, obviously they haven't seen each other in a long time. They don't talk. And, I don't know, it was just awkward. I don't think, some people say, like, that Jill probably wasn't expecting Jana. I agree. And I don't think Jana really wanted to be there. I mean, maybe she really did want to see her nephews, but I don't think she wanted to be, like, stuck in the back of the fire truck forcing a conversation with Jill. So the whole thing just was a little, I don't know, a little weird, and a lot of people have a lot of opinions on it. I still think that there's a beef there, and anytime you see Jill and Jana together, it's not authentic. What else is happening during this time? Laura's hanging out a lot with Elijah. I like Elijah. Elijah is like the male counterpart of Laura in the Duggar household. People are always like, who's Elijah? And it's like the boy version of Laura. Like, he lives in the Duggar house pretty much, works for the Duggars, part of the IBLP, not from Arkansas, but the Duggars kind of took him in. So there's that. That's Elijah. We like Elijah. I think he's a cool guy. So she was like playing tennis with him one night, and somebody else was there, and maybe it was Jason, somebody in the background. And then she was on the lake, on Beaver Lake, where they like to go. She was on Beaver Lake with them, with Elijah, and their friend, I think his name's Logan. They were on the lake as well. It looked like there might have been other people, but at the moment that Elijah like panned her on the camera, it was just the two of them, the three of them. But you know that when they go out on the pontoon, they always take like jet skis and stuff with them. So there's probably more people with them. Who knows? Who could have been Jason, could have been Jana, could have been Steven. There could have been multiple people there. But we only know that those three were really hanging out. The thing is, some people miss this. Why do I mention this? Because some people miss it. Because they're not following like Laura and they're not following Elijah. And it all fits into a timeline, guys. So sometimes you miss it if like there's not a Duggar person there, but there could have been a Duggar person there. It's very likely there was a Duggar person there. Anyways, now we're gonna talk about Jed's wedding. Now Jed's wedding, I know it happened a long time ago, so I'm gonna cover it briefly. But it's just because I want to make a point. His wedding video by the Gabenator was released this past week, and so we got to get like a really good look at the wedding. It was absolutely beautiful. The person who recorded it, the videographer, did an amazing job. Laura, looks like Laura coordinated it. Maybe she had a part in designing it, but it's not clear. But the wedding was absolutely beautiful, stunning. I'm so glad that like we're still able to see it. I'm unclear on why we haven't seen Justin and Claire's wedding. I'm wondering if TLC did film some of it and they're kind of in a tug of war over that footage. But I do know that this Gabenator guy did also record that wedding, so I'm not sure why we haven't gotten the whole thing. I mean, there's so many people that want to see it. But Jed's wedding, absolutely beautiful. You can see, Laura letting people, in and out, the wedding party and things like that. So, we can tell that she is a part of it. She also posted about being honored to be a part of their special day. The Wissmanns were there. You can see them in the background. They're sitting kind of like off to the side. I could see Steven, the father, Lauren. Who else could I see there? I could see Hannah, Elizabeth. I think I saw Rissy. So there's like some of them that I saw there. I don't know if the whole family was there, but definitely there was a good amount that was there for the wedding. Now, here's the point that I'm trying to make, guys. Here's why I'm bringing it up. Because you can't see Jana anywhere in that wedding. 0 places. You don't see Jessa either. Now, there's somebody that I think looks like Jessa when Jed and Katey come when they come, back down the aisle, they're going into like this little like barn house or whatever. There's somebody that looks like Jessa saying hi. I'm not sure if it's them. Now, most people don't think that Jessa was there because there's no sighting of Ben or the 3 kids that they had at the time. So it's just, and there was a big family picture and everybody and their children were there. So everybody, Josh and his family were there, Josh, Hannah, and all their kids, John, Abby, and Gracie, Josiah, Lauren, and Bella, Joseph and Kendra, and all their kids. Everybody was there with their whole family, except for Ben and Jessa, and Jana. It's weird that she's not in the family picture. Now, Jessa, for me, I'd always assumed that maybe she wasn't there and in that family picture or at the wedding at all, because maybe she wasn't feeling well. It was early on in her pregnancy still. Maybe she was feeling, sick. Maybe one of the kids was ill. Maybe she didn't want to send Ben to the wedding with the 3 kids on his own, and she wasn't feeling good. Maybe Ben was sick and she had to take care of him. I think like all of those explanations are reasonable. So where's Jana? So like the first thought I had when the original, like that picture first came out right after the wedding photographer had kind of released like a little kind of preview of it, and she wasn't there in the picture. My first thought was, oh, she's helping set up the reception and deal with all that stuff, because Jana and Laura always do that kind of thing together, and Jana's always a big part of helping out. So that was naturally my first instinct. But then if you look now at the full wedding video, Jana doesn't appear at all. Anywhere. Nowhere. Like, not like while they're getting like dolled up with the makeup, not while they're in the reception. There's a part where you could see like Laura standing with Ginger, and Laura and Ginger are friends, right? The squad, right? So like Jessa, Ginger, Laura, Jana, like they're like the 4 best friends. So you could see her and Ginger together, and you would assume that you would see Jana somewhere in that fold, or somewhere with the family talking, or taking a picture with the family, or taking a picture with Jed and Katey. There's none of that. Where was Jana? So I polled my people over on my fan page, Laura and Jana fans, if you want to check it out, please. I'm on Instagram. And I asked people, where was Jana? What do you think? And then some people were like, oh, maybe she's just in the bathroom. And it was like, wrong place, wrong time. That's why you didn't see her, Gandalf. Relax. Possible. Some people said she was sick. Like Jessa kind of idea. What if she was sick? I don't even know if Jessa was sick, but same kind of theory. Some people said it was like a rebellion. Like there was some drama there and she rebelled and she was like, I'm not going to the wedding. Care what you say. Out. She seems so out of character for Jana. Like, can you imagine her missing somebody's wedding after she helps everybody with everything? Like, I cannot imagine Jana throwing that kind of temper tantrum. I can see Jessa being like, I'm fundamentally against this. I'm not going. But I don't think she did that either. But I can't see Jana doing that. Come on, man. Jana's a pushover for things like that. Like, she could be mad about whatever. Do you think she would have left, like, Laura in the lurch? Think about it. Think she would have, like Laura's having to set up everything and Jana's like, deal with it. I don't think she'd do that to her best friend. I don't think she'd do that to her brother. I don't think she'd purposefully not go. Nah. Come on. I don't know. Some people said she had COVID. So I bet she had COVID and she was in quarantine. I was like, ooh, this could be a possibility. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna go back on my timeline. See what I see, if she was out and about. Guys, she was at the rehearsal dinner the night before, sitting with Stephen Wissmann and her father, Jim Bob Duggar. They were all at a table that Katey's brother took a video of, and you can see them there. So if she's at the rehearsal dinner the night before, she didn't have COVID. She didn't go get a test for COVID between the rehearsal dinner and the wedding. If she would have done that, then everybody in that rehearsal dinner would have needed to go get a rapid test. That's the AC, by the way. Nobody is flushing the toilet. I'm sorry. Now, no. So that theory is out the window, but why? Where do you think Jana was? Do you think she was avoiding the camera? Could she have been? Could she have been, maybe, not? I know she wasn't sitting with Stephen during the ceremony, and you can't really see her sitting anywhere during the ceremony. But I know she wasn't sitting with the Wissmanns during the ceremony, but what if she was with the Wissmanns during the reception? What if she was with the Wissmanns during the reception and she didn't want to, And so the Duggar family's being very careful. So they're telling this guy, Gabe, who's the videographer or whatever, cinematographer, they're telling him, make sure you cut out any scenes that have these two sitting together. I guess, but Jeremiah comes out a lot in the video. So there's nothing of Jeremiah and Hannah. And at the end, when you see Jed and Katey like leaving the wedding venue, I can see Steven and he's with his sisters. Like he's not with Jana at that moment. So I do think, and that's also why we haven't gotten maybe a lot of Justin and Claire's wedding, because maybe there's a lot of Jana and Steven hanging out. That's my theory on why we haven't gotten it, because I think there's maybe too much of the footage of them together that they just can't edit out. So they're just asking Justin and Claire and the Spivies not to post too much of it. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe we'll get Justin and Claire's wedding soon. Maybe I'm totally off about it, but given what we're talking about today, it's a possibility. Tell me in the comments why you think Jana wasn't there though. P.S. Before we come full circle, very important to note that we had a baby. I didn't have a baby, but Jessa had a baby. She had baby Seewald number 4, Fern Elliana Seewald. I love the name, by the way. I think it's original and I think it fits them. Like, really, like, come on, guys. What you want? We want her name the kid Madison. You want her name the kid Isabella? It's not gonna happen. Like, her names are more unique. The most common name that she's used is Henry. And Ivy's a little bit more mainstream, but it's still pretty unique. And I like that Fern is a little bit more out there, because Spurgeon is out there. You can't have just one kid with an out there name. Like, you gotta kind of balance the sib set. So I think they're going to go back to more original names now, which I like. You know, they're their kids, and Fern is so beautiful, such a beautiful girl. The kids are so excited. I think Ivy's so happy to be a big sister. I'm so happy for them. They are probably my favorite Duggar couple. I think I've said it before. I love Ben and Jessa. I think they're good people. I think they're great parents. I love how smart and how polite their kids are. So I'm excited to go along in this journey with her and see this baby number 4 growing up. I love her YouTube channel. If you're not on Jessa's YouTube, you gotta get over there. And that she gave us a 3-part birth story, and this is what I was telling you guys on the last episode when I talked about counting on getting canceled. All of that money goes directly back to the Seewalds, to Ben and Jessa's family. So I couldn't be happier about that. You know, it's a great way for them to support their family by telling their birth story and getting that YouTube money. Let's go. Look, life is like a sandwich. Doesn't matter what way you look at it, the bread always comes first, okay? And so, Jessa, you go and get your bread. I'm proud of you. Let's go. So, in regards to this birth story thing and birth story video number 3, I had to watch it twice. Once in full speed and once in slow motion, because I was pretty sure I saw Laura. So I was like, I'm gonna watch this part in slow motion. There's a part where Spurgeon is sitting at the head of the table and he's talking to some family members at the big house about his new baby sister. And there's a part where it pans out, all right? And you can see this man, I don't know who his name is, a friend of the family, presumably, next to Jason Duggar, and next to Laura DeMasie, next to Jana Duggar, next to Abby Duggar. So you can see this side of the table. They're all eating something. And then they pan out again, and they zoom like very fast. And they zoom out very quickly. On the other side of the table, you can see Gwen. Gwen is the mother of Ben Seewald. And next to Gwen, you see Jana Duggar. And next to Jana Duggar, you see, guess who? Mr. Steven Wissmann. He's there. Very surprising that is not edited out of the video. There was like no need for that to be there. It's a little Easter egg Jessa drops for you. Jessa loves to drop Easter eggs, apparently. Look, man, I don't know who got Jessa upset, but Jessa leaves that little like Easter egg there, and like for me, that's like bing, check the box. Like there's been like way too much time they've spent together lately. Not too much time in a bad way. I'm just saying too much time for it to be a coincidence. Jana and Steven are a thing. Like there's no going past that by now. Okay? This is legit. Not because they were seen together. The first picture that they were seen together, I was like, y'all are ridiculous. That she's just sitting next to him. Like, it could be that she's a chaperone. Second time they're seen together, maybe they're just talking. You know, maybe Jim Bob they just want them to get to know each other. Third time, 4th of July, went out of her way to see him. Fourth time, he's in Arkansas for no better reason than to come and visit her, sitting next to Jana, drinking out of his teal water bottle. There's a thing going on here. There's most definitely a thing going on here. And you know what? It's okay. We're going to talk about that in a minute. We're going to talk about my feelings in a minute. Facts don't care about my feelings. We're going to talk about facts first. Now, then, right before I made this video, one of my friends, Ginger fans, she sends me something from Reddit. She sends me that on Reddit, they're like showing this picture of like, there's a Zola wedding registry for a Jana Duggar and a Stephen Wissmann. Wissmann is misspelled on the wedding registry, so most people are like, oh, it's fake, because now it doesn't have the two N's. Wissmann has two N's, so it could be fake. But then here's what happens. I decide, I'm like, oh, let me do a little bit more research. Let me go on Amazon and see if there's a wedding registry. Now, there's not one for Jana and Stephen, but there is one for Jeremiah and Hannah. The end of October. And the one for Jeremiah and Hannah, like, is robust. Like, there's like 200 items on it. Like, it's legit. And it includes like normal things, like a lot of kitchen stuff, stuff they would like for around the house. It doesn't look like oddly fake, like the one of, and they made one for like Nuri Rodriguez. It doesn't. And also one of the items has already been purchased. So if you weren't sure that it was legit, why would you purchase something on the wedding registry? Like, who would do that? And it's like the very first thing, like all the way at the bottom. So you have to you have to scroll a lot, like to find the beginning of the wish list. But that one, it looks more legit to me. I'm not saying that it's real, that I have verifiable proof. But it says the wedding is October 31st in Springdale, Arkansas. Now, Justin and Claire also had an Amazon wedding registry, and I remember that the date was different than the actual date of the wedding. So items started getting like shipped out. I think like it was like a difference of a couple weeks, and their actual wedding was different than what it said there. So on the wedding registry of Amazon, I think you can play around with it like at the last minute, and so it could be real, just the date could be fake. The date that was on the Jana and Stephen one that we're not sure is real was, I think, October 23rd. And, but you can't get into it. It's a Zola registry and it's password protected. So you can make a fake registry on Zola as well, because Zola is free to use. So take it with a grain of salt. But the weddings, like the dates that it's showing are like a week apart. So like, I was like telling my friend, I'm like, no, maybe it's like, everybody comes into town for Jana and Stephen's wedding, and then they're expected to stay for a week, and then like the next weekend, like on Halloween, Jer and Hannah get married. I don't know. Duggars do weird things. Maybe it's a double wedding. I don't know. We don't know anything, but it's fun to talk about, right? Very quickly. Who is Stephen Wissmann? He's a member of the Wissmann family. I told you before, they're a bunch of musicians. He has an Instagram handle at Stephen Wissmann, but that's not his real Instagram. I mean, it belongs to him, but it's not his, like, main Instagram. His main Instagram is Mandolin Man 1993. So whenever I think of Stephen Wissmann, all I think of is the Mandolin Man. That's all I want to call him. If you hear me refer to him at some point, that's how I'm going to call him, the Mandolin Man. And so he has that one, but it's a private account. And then, like, Stephen Wissmann is his public account. The Wissmanns are a fundamentalist conservative family. They are part of the IBLP, and that's what we know about them. Like, look, we just want Jana to be happy, and if she's in love with Stephen and this is her love story, like, we're all in, right? Like, everybody just wants Jana to be happy. But I think that some people are just in like, find it so confusing. Talking specifically about like the snarking community, okay? Not so much the fan community. Because the fan community is excited for Jana to marry anyone because we love Jana. And we've been waiting for this wedding forever, right? So everybody, you know, okay, whatever. But like the snarking community is what I don't get, because they're also excited about this. Oh, we just want Jana to be married. Oh, we want her to be happy. Oh, we want her to find her stud, her whatever. And so they're so into this Stephen Wissmann thing. But like, I find it so strange because Stephen Wissmann is part of the IBLP. Like, it's not like it's this whole idea that like, oh, Jana like gets to be free now. She gets to be free of this world. She doesn't. It's the same world that she lives in right now. It's the same thing as living under her father as living under a man in the IBLP. I'm not telling you that that's a bad thing. It's not my job to tell you if something is a bad thing or a good thing. I'm just telling you that it's the same thing. So like, if your idea of like, oh, we want free Jana, that ain't free Jana. Like, this is not free Jana. This is Jana getting married and living her funny life, and good for her. I'm happy for you if you're happy, Jana. I'm so happy for you if that's the deal. I just want Jana to be happy. You guys just want to see another Duggar wedding. And now they want to see the other Duggar wedding, and they're all saying, oh, stupid Josh got the show canceled. Y'all are the same people who are signing the petition to get the show canceled. So please don't come up to me talking about anything like this. Y'all got the show canceled, not Josh. P.S. And now we don't get to see Jana's wedding. Now it's like the third or fourth wedding that's going to happen that we don't get to see. And Miss Privacy over here, Jana Duggar, is not going to share anything with us. We're not going to find out anything about any love story. So please be done. Very quickly before I go. A quick note to whoever says I talk about Jana and Laura too much, because there's somebody that keeps commenting that I'm obsessed with Jana and Laura. Bro, I run a fan page for Jana and Laura. Please, like, I don't even know why I'm giving this person the time of day, but like, I don't get it. Like, they're like accusing me of being like a Jana and Laura shipper and showing my bias. Look, man, no. Let me explain to you something. I run a page for Jana and Laura. I have a lot of people that come and talk to me on that page. I feel the pulse of what people are saying. And I am the Lorax. I speak for the trees. I speak for Jana and Laura Nation, which some people are very firm in their belief that they are just friends. And some people think other things, and they're Jana and Laura shippers. I gotta speak to everybody that is a Jana and Laura fan, because guess what? Those are the people that follow me on Instagram. I'm gonna share all of their perspectives, and I'm never going to tell you what you should believe. If you should be team Jana and Steven and Laura and the other Steven, or Jana and Laura. And no, we're team Jana and Laura and whatever makes them happy. We're team Jana and Laura and whatever brings them good things in the future. So whatever they choose to do with their lives is their lives. It's not my life. So I'm not here trying to push any agenda. I'm here speaking for the people, okay? For my people. Jana and Laura fans. So please be done with that. I'm gonna leave you with a Bible verse. Romans 8:28. All things work together for good for those who love God, for those that are called according to his purpose. I do believe that everything that is happening in Duggarland is gonna work together for good. And good things are coming for both Jana and Laura, individually, collectively, and all the Duggar family that are doing the right thing. You know, the ones that we're fans of here. We like all of them. We're praying for their happiness. Show you my shoes before I leave. Didn't show you last time. Space Jam LeBrons. Just put a review of these up on my channel, or I will in the next couple of days, so make sure you check it out. All right. Until next time, guys. Thank you. I appreciate you. Bucks and six. Congratulations, Giannis. Be blessed.